Shalawam. I'm your brother Yahawashi from the branch of GMS, South Carolina Midlands. And before we start off, all praise, honor, and glory belongs to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, HaQadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well. And Shalawam to you, hopeful elect, scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you, I say Shalawam. The devil is ready to accuse. All right. The devil being Esau, Edom, so-called white man. All right. Starting with the wicked elite. All right. Starting with Amalek. Okay. The small hatters. All right. The devil being Esau, Edom is ready to accuse. And who is he going to accuse? Jacob. He's going to accuse Israel. All right. As being the number one threat. All right. The number one problem in the planet Earth when it comes to his whole narrative of anti-sim. All right. The main target is towards the Israelites. All right. And specifically towards the prophets of Bahasham, Yahawashi. All right. I got this old video here. Elder apostles and brothers been covered this, but just I was doing the research, just trying to find this video, and I came across it again here on the African Diaspora news channel, just dealing with the Amalekite lady, pretty much accusing Jake, young black, all right, the young black community as being the number one threat to those imposters, to the Jewish people. And as you can see, this video goes back 2 years ago, man. All right. And, I'm bringing this up just in light of the recent events with the whole Australia Bondi Beach incident, apparently happened on the small hatters, and, Esau's in the news, spinning the narrative. They need more control against anti-sim. We need more protection, for the imposters, man. Okay. And this is all intended and targeted to who? To the prophets. All right. When you step back and look at the grand scale of things, start with our elder apostles and elder bishops. These devils have been getting exposed through the spirit and the power of Yahawashi for a very long time. All right. And now it's becoming more evident, the whole world, the whole stage of the world. Okay. Everybody in the planet Earth can see who the problem is, man. All right. Esau, and namely Amalek. Okay. So we just at that point where this devil, he's ready to accuse, demonize, anybody that come up against him, especially the prophets. Okay. He's ready to bring his accusations. He's ready to bring the sword. Okay. And this is what, through the spirit and the power of Yahawashi, this is what we've been, preparing ourselves for. This devil Esau coming in like a flood. Okay. This devil knows that his time is up, man. Right? Yahawashi about to take him out of power. So they about to speed things up. They are speeding things up. Okay. They just about to come with the whole smear and demonization campaign and bring that sword, man, to, ultimately bring in this digital system, man, this beast system. All right, because the prophets is the number one threat against them, man. Okay. Exposing them. All right, so just enough of me speaking. I pray and hope that this lesson will be edifying to the hopeful, to the body of the hopeful elect. All right, the elect of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, the ones who are taking this truth seriously, right? The ones who are cleaving to Yahawashi, as we see our enemies is, coming up against us, okay? About to bring persecution, just as the scriptures told us, okay? But still, we will remain faithful to Yahawashi, no matter what we have to endure, okay? Because that's what it's all about, enduring what is to come. So I'm going to let this play, get these scriptures. Lord will just be edifying to the body of the hopeful elect.
An Israeli consul official making...
And fair use. All right. Not using this video for monetary gain. All right. Just simply using it, all right, for information and educational purposes.
What appears to be some very disturbing, dangerous, and damaging statements about Black American youth in particular. I found this clip very important to discuss at this time because there's so much happening in our world, and we are supposed to have a very strong and democratic alliance with Israel. So it's disturbing to hear these comments. Watch this.
The problem of Israel is with the young generation of the Black community.
All right, let me read that. Reiterate what she just said. All right. And it says the major problem with Israel, okay, talking about those imposters, is with the young generation of the Black community. So now Israel's all the way over there. Okay. So how are we the threat? How are we the problem from all the way over here in America? Okay. So, and once again, this video is from 2 years ago. So, this has been in discussions. This is, already out there, all right, as a narrative. Okay. And, the main thing of what she's saying, okay, what these small hatters are saying is the major problem to those imposters is those prophets, those street teachers and preachers, right? Me and the elder apostles and brothers out there on the highways and the hedges exposing them. All right, to summarize it all up. Okay, because brothers, enter into this truth as young men, fairly young, some in the, later teens, young, early 20s, all right, latter 20s, early 30s, latter 30s, 40, 50, on up. And, the target is against us, man. We know what the narrative is against. All right, it's against us teaching the truth. Okay. So let me get this. This is Psalms 37:12. The wicked, and who's the wicked? Esau, the so-called white man, right? Self-proclaimed white man. They go back to the biblical Edomites or to their forefather Esau, Edom. It says, the wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. All right. How are they plotting against the just? Well, every time you bring them up, okay, what's the main thing that they throw out there? All right. Anti, okay, anti-sim, okay, and that's so that they can be justified to come up against you. Okay, we gotta watch, we gotta be careful with what we say. That's why we got different code words for them. Okay, and eventually it's gonna get to the point to where these devils want to penalize you by jail time, okay, and penalize you by deletion, by the sword. Okay, when he gnashes upon you with his teeth, being his power, his wicked laws and legislations, all right, which will eventually lead to him using the sword, man. This is what it's all leading up to, man. Eventually, we ain't gonna be able to go out there, all right, and expose him how we exposing him now. And that's gonna be all through the spirit and the power of Yahawashi when the Lord decides to bring the famine of the word. Okay. But we see where things are headed. Okay. This devil looks to make you a offender, a offender for a word. Okay, all we doing is teaching the truth. We're out there preaching through the spirit and the power of Yahawah, and this devil, part of us teaching, preaching, prophesying. All right, a part of that, us teaching the word, is Esau being exposed, man, because he's a major part of end time prophecy. He's the one who, when Yahawashi returns, he's going to take him down. But before then, all right, he's the one that's being revealed, or that man of sin. Okay. No, it's in Isaiah, the 29th chapter. Yep. Isaiah 29:20. For the terrible one is brought down. Slakia. For the terrible one is brought to naught. Right? Being Sleazy E, the so-called white man. Okay. This devil is terrible. Okay. He's the problem in the earth. He's the major problem in the earth and to himself. Okay. A man that would, not do good unto himself, even his own self, to pollute the water, taint the food, all right, destroy all manner of life, deforestation, okay, teach all types of lies, okay? He's the problem. It says, for the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, and that's the man of sin, Esau. Okay. The scriptures speak about how this devil, he can't go to sleep unless he calls some people to fall, man. Okay. And that's why this devil, he has to be taken out of the earth. He has to be taken out of power. All right. It says that make a man an offender for a word. Okay. Prophets. All right. Eventually, we see, anytime, when it comes to small adders, especially with Jake, you could use Kanye West for an example. Anytime you come and you speak up against them tiny tops, all right, especially them those sold out, those in any type of industry, and you make it to a level, what does the main thing he do? He cut off the tap, all right. He cut your funding, your sponsors, your businesses, all right. And now, as in regards to the prophets, of Yahawashi, really exposing them and tying them back to prophecy, all right, tying them back to the word of the Lord as being the true biblical Edomites and the wicked and the devil according to the Bible. All right, this devil is setting up his queendom, all right, because we all know who truly runs America, Babylon the Great, all right, those tiny tops, all right, Benjamin, net and not a Jew, all right, and them boys over there, okay, they are setting it up to where if you speak against them, all right, you will be penalized to the highest extent, all right, hence why here in America, Babylon the Great, they setting up, different people, men and women, all right, mainly men military, all right, with Palantir, all right, to scathe the internet for anti-sim rhetoric. Okay. He's making a man an offender for a word, man, especially if you're speaking, all right, the truth of the Holy Scriptures, man. Okay, so who's the main, all right, men that these devils want to come up against? The elder apostles, the elder bishops, a great millstone, and the men in the likewise spirit, of Bahasham and Yahawashi. It says that make a man an offender for a word and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. And that's the prophets. Prophets are the only ones truly, standing up against the workers of iniquity, man. Okay? Reproving, all right, by way of the word of Bahasham and Yahawashi, man. Okay? Going into the wickedness of this world and this devil via the scriptures, man. Okay? Pointing the hand, all right? Letting you know who the devil is in the earth, man. Who the wicked is in the earth. And how he's about to go down. And why he needs to be taken down. And why you Israelites need to repent. All right? And it says, and turn aside the just for a thing of not, man. Yeah, these devils, they not regarding what we saying. And for a while, he tried to ignore us. Okay? But it's getting to the point now to where you can't ignore us. You can't ignore this word. All right? And you're being exposed majorly. All right? The prophet's been exposing you through the spirit and the power of Yahawashi, and now to the point to even your own tongue, your own people is coming up against you. Okay? And if you word it correctly in AI speaking against you, man. Your own technology. All right? So this devil, he has to come with it, man. He has to come with his only blessing he has left, man. All right? Outside of deception, he has to come with the sword, man. He has to come with the sword. So let me play that again, man. I got another video queued up with redacted, right?
Black.
Because there's so much happening in our world, and we are supposed to have a very strong and democratic alliance with Israel. So it's disturbing to hear these comments. Watch this.
The problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community. Black Lives Matter starts there.
So just to give a little bit of context to...
Oh yeah, there you have it. Major problem with them small hatters is the young black community. And went on and said Black Lives Matter. Really, they targeting the prophets, man. Okay. We've been a thorn in this devil's side for a long time, man. But starting with our teachers, all right? Starting with the elder Apostle Tahar and the rest of the apostles and the elder bishops on down. All right, so listen to this video right here.
Their curriculum to really start covering this new modern
And
version.
Fair use once again. All right, for this video here as well. All right, as well as the last video. Okay, this video here from Redacted. Fair use, not making any monetary gain. Just using it for educational and information purposes only.
Version of anti-Semitism, the newly rewritten version. Watch.
That we already have in our schools compulsory Holocaust education. But I think what we've seen in recent times is that Holocaust education is as important and as crucial as that is. It perhaps doesn't pick up the contemporary hatred of anti-Semitism that we are seeing on our streets, and the way words are being used as weapons, but perhaps not having the understanding of why they are so hurtful and the history in which they are seated. So that is why we are giving consideration at a state level of what more needs to be done to respond in new ways to what has been an age-old hate that has reared its head in very ugly and new ways.
Yeah.
So this comes off the cusp of that attack that happened in Australia. All right. And, you heard her words to where speaking against these small hatters, words is being used as weapons. Okay? Words is being used as weapons, making a man an offender for a word, man. Okay? All we doing is teaching truth. Okay? The whole world coming up against them on social media. All right. Within, out and about in daily life, they are being pointed out as the problem, man. Okay. The ones over there in the Holy Land, genociding the Palestinians, right? Yeah, a lot of people over here in America and around the world that ain't with that, man. With the genocide that's going on, man. Okay. Americans waking up to who truly controls their government, coming up against the American government and the small hatters, man. Okay. They're being pointed out. The ones who control everything from the media, okay? Like I said, from the government to the media, all right? The music, okay? Your entertainment, your TV shows, movies, all that, man. The banks, all of it, man. Because these devils being exposed, man. Anytime you come up against them, you speak any type of truth, I guess those words can be are used as weapons, man. All right, this devil is ready to accuse, man. He's in accusatory mode, man. If that's a word.
Yeah, now, I have a question for you, Clayton.
Weapons or words? Just want to put a point on that.
Based on this. Okay. So we get all new government policies in the wake of 15 deaths of Jewish people. But that's a low number for deaths of civilians in Gaza. So where are those policies?
Yeah, this is what I want to get to right here. Now over here in Babylon, America, they setting up laws so that they can skim through the internet, use technologies such as what? Palantir, okay, to look up anti-Sem rhetoric, okay, and go after you, okay, censor you, all right, limit you, and ultimately, we know it's going to get to the point to where they're going to want to jail you, man, okay, they're going to want to perform harm against you, man, okay, ruin your life, all right?
Oh, the Australian government is not rushing at all to cover that part of the story in their education policies in school at all.
Attacks on civilians.
No,
in not just in Gaza, but in the West Bank and beyond. So
that will not be part of the new curriculum.
Where are those charts? Where are the outrage about anti-Muslim sentiment? Where's the new policy?
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Why? That shows you who control the world. The point that they driving across is anytime you talk about them, it's an uproar. It has to be highlighted. All right. Sympathy has to be shown towards them, even though they are the aggressor in the whole Palestinian and Israel conflict. Okay. But any small thing that happened to them, okay, they can kill thousands. They can delete thousands, but let 2 or 1 of them get deleted on their end. And the whole world got to cry for them. Okay, what about the true Jews? What happened to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? What about us? Okay, they funded, all right? These devils funded that slavery and that captivity, man. But they ain't gonna talk about that though. Shows you who truly controls the world, man. All right, find out who you can't talk about, and that's who who controls the world, man.
Not in Australia, because, that's part of the agenda. That's part of the plan. You cannot speak out and make these distinctions. You're not allowed to. As Trump's new anti-Semitism czar just pointed out, he says the State Department is going to have a whole division dedicated to battling anti-Semitism on the internet in the United States.
How do we battle anti-Semitism on the internet? How are we doing better on algorithms? What companies can we work with? We are going to have a whole division within the office of the Special Envoy to combat anti-Semitism that is going to work on technology and working with the greatest leaders in technology, many of whom are Jewish and have offered their assistance.
Yeah. Peter Thiel. We're going to get the whole Palantir group. We're going to get all of these people to censor you and really go after your internet.
Well, and they specifically said they're going to get the highest priority in the State Department.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a new division in the State Department under Marco Rubio. Good, Philip.
I was under the...
So, brothers, sisters, be ready. This is what the elder apostles and the elder bishops have been building up our faith. We're teaching this word. All right. All right. This is what we've been preparing for, man, through the Spirit. All right. A great time of persecution. Right. The devil about to push the MOTB, a great testing in the earth. Okay. Jacob's trouble, man. Be ready. Okay, because the accuser of our brethren, Esau, he coming with it, man. This is Revelation 12:10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down. Okay. So salvation is coming unto you elect. Okay. And the accuser of our brethren, Esau, is cast down, man. All right. This devil, he's done. His kingdom is through, man. It's over. All right. Ain't no bouncing back. Ain't no putting the cat back in the bag. The jig is up. He is exposed. Okay. Which it says, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, Esau. Okay. Come with his slanders, his lies, his demonization. All right. This devil got his AI technology. Yeah. He could paint a narrative. He gonna come with some more false flags. And he gonna point the finger at Jake. Okay. Trump and his administration already targeting Northern and Southern Kingdom. All right. As being the problem why America is going spiraling downhill with the immigration crisis. Okay. Crime, war on crime. All right. The Department of Justice to the Department of War. Targeting who? Jake. Okay. Understand what times you're in, man. Understand who your enemy is. Understand who your power is, man. It says, which accused them before our power day and night, man. So they're accusing us before Yahawashi. But guess what? And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death. So we already won through the spirit and the power of Yahawashi. The blood of Yahawashi already covers his elect. They're blameless before the eyes of Yahawashi. So Esau demonizing his truth, coming after us, persecuting us, all right, before the world. All right. We're already justified in the eyes of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. So all this, he is coming up against us and setting up this whole, anti-Sem hate speech narrative to come up against us. It's all going to be futile. Okay? Because us hopeful members of the elect, we don't give a damn what narrative this devil spins, man. What demonization he try to throw at the elect. It's not going to stick. Right? And we don't give a damn about this lifetime anyway, man. Okay, so whatever, family members and people of the world who believe this devil and depart from us, come after us, persecute us, or hate us, okay? Our faith is in Yahawashi, man. Okay? And it says, verse 12, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, Diablos, all right, the false accuser, the slanderer. This devil, he's his, outside of the blessing of the sword, his other blessing is to deceive. Okay? And he will be using that AI technology, man, better than what we have and what we can, use on our phones and our computers or tablets. He got top of the line AI that can really make you seem like you did something you didn't. Okay? Bring about a false flag and make it seem like you there and you did it and you didn't. That's the times we're living in, and that's the technology. That's how this devil about to come with it, man. Gonna have the whole world against you. Your job, the people in your town, your city, your state, all right, your country gonna be against you, man. These are the times we're in, man. But guess whose side you on? Bahasham, Yahawashi. For the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time, that this is over. It's over, it's over. He know his time is up, so he gonna have to come with it, and that's why he coming with it, man. Okay? Apparently there was some type of foil attack, or planned or premeditated attack for New Year's that they found, I believe, out in LA at the Mojave Desert. All right, they stopped that, but it was saying they was preparing for, come on, man. And who you think they was gonna put the face as? Okay, remember Carl Schwab and the WEF, you know, World Economic Forum. Okay, Carl Schwab, speaking on polycrises. Okay, these are times we're in, man. Days of evil, man. As it reads in Ephesians 5, 15. Okay. Ephesians 5 and 15. It says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. All right. Walk in his wisdom, man. Okay. Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Yeah, we're living in bad times, man. And now's not the time to be playing around. Okay. Walking around twiddling your thumbs, man. Okay, not knowing what's going on. Right? No, you're supposed to understand what was happening in the earth according to prophecy, man. Measuring the times, keeping a watch. Okay? Getting your house in order, repenting, seeking the Lord. It says, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is, man. Okay? These prophecies of Yahawah is hitting, man. Okay? Lord about to deliver his very elect. Okay? We're about to receive the kingdom, but that's going to be through much tribulation. Okay? We're going to have to enter in St. Matthew 7 and 13, enter ye in at the straight gate. And that's a degree of difficulty, man. All right? Walk in the path of this truth, man. Okay? So that you can enter into the kingdom, man. All right? Through straits. Not going to be easy, man. Will this devil come with the persecution and demonization, man? Your family going to be against you. The people around you, you're associated, at your job, out and about, all going to be against you, man. Okay? It says, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. And that's through all these different philosophies and doctrines, man. All right? Doctrines of devils, man. Okay? That's where a lot of our people is going, the broad way, man. It says, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. And that's the elect, man. All right? We've obtained the truth. We walk in truth. All right? And Yahawah going to grant us salvation. All right? But for the majority of our nation, beware of false prophets, which come unto you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravening wolves. Okay? Majority of our people are following after those wolves, those false prophets, man, leading them astray. Okay? A flock that's being led to the slaughter. And the most of our people, the majority of our people, going to be destroyed, man. following the broad way. All right, instead of following Yahawashi. Okay? But hey, us hopeful members of the elect, man, we ready, man. We ready. Through the spirit and the power of Yahawah, man. Continue to pray, continue to be diligent, steadfast, unmovable in this truth, man. All right? In Matthew 10:22, it says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. So the Lord let us know, man. But he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved, man. Lord will is edifying to the elect. With that, I say shalom. Shalom to the hopeful elect.